What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 152, and we start today's episode off with the biggest game in the Serie A this season. Juventus versus Milan here at the Juventus Stadium as second play host to first place. With 6 games to go in the league, we are 8 points clear of Juventus. So coming into this game here, Juventus, they need to win this game. There's no doubt about that. Anything other than that, and surely the title is going to be Milan's come the end of the season. But of course, we know if Juventus do win this game, even though there'll only be 5 games to go, they'll cut the gap at the top of the table to just 5 points, and also, because they beat us at the San Siro, would finish up with the head-to-head record being better. So Juventus in this game knew they had to win the game. If they did win it, momentum would be on their side with the final 5 games in the division. So coming into this game, really excited for it, but sadly for me, as this often happens in my career modes, the big games don't always live up to the big occasion really, and they tend to be quite cagey. That's what happened in the first half, no real chances, but I didn't mind, to be honest. I'd take a goalless draw in this game, but 5 minutes after the restart, sadly for us, we would concede in a huge game in a disastrous way, because Jeremy Djokovic, who is usually so reliable, comes out to meet this cross, and Zaza heads it in before he can get there and makes it Juventus 1, Milan 0. So in a massive game, we needed to be on our game. We needed all the players to be concentrating, and Jeremy Djokovic, well, the camera panned to him just before the replay. No real surprises. He knew he'd made the error. He's usually so reliable and so consistent, but sadly that was a big mistake there in a big game, and Djokovic is at fault as Zaza gives Juventus the opening goal of the game 5 minutes after the restart. So in a massive game, in a game neither side can afford to lose, we do go behind and Juventus do go in front just 5 minutes after the restart. So Juventus 1, Milan 0, but straight from kickoff here, De got on the ball, and wouldn't you just know it, we would equalise instantly. Matteo De with his first goal of the season makes it Juventus 1, Milan 1, kicks the corner flag in celebration and bails his Canadian goalkeeper out because he levels the score, puts us back on level terms. Got very lucky though, the ball from the shot hits the bar and comes straight back to him. He plays a 1-2 with the woodwork really and heads it into the unguarded net and makes it 1-1 to his first goal of the season, and what a time to get it as well as he equalises here in the biggest game of the Serie A season so far. So Juventus 1, Milan 1. In the 63rd minute, Juventus went close to retaking the lead there. That shot well saved by Djokovic, trying to make up for his error, but it was still 1-1. And a few minutes later, another chance for Juventus here as Ozil goes for goal from range, but fortunately for us, the former Arsenal man can't hit the target and it goes behind for a goal kick. So still 1-1. This game was going to its close though. Juventus were forcing bodies forward and they knew they had to find a winner in this game. A draw wouldn't be enough for them with just 5 games to go. They put a few bodies forward, but instead of sitting back and just allowing us to try and defend and soak up the pressure, we went to try and score a second goal and completely kill the mood. And wouldn't you just know it, we do just that in stoppage time, because who got the goal? Who do you think got the goal in stoppage time? Nope, not Marco Ryan Talla, but a former Juventus striker, Alvaro Morata, who scored against his former club Real Madrid, or one of his former clubs Real Madrid, in the Champions League to dump them out of the Champions League, scores away at Juventus at the Juventus Stadium to make it 2-1 and dump them out of the title race. Alvaro Morata has no chill. He is not the type of striker that sits there and says, well, they're my former club, so I still want them to do well. No, Alvaro Morata wants to kill off his former club. Sevilla beware. Alvaro Morata heads into the Chilio cross in stoppage time, and Nato, Paul Djokovic, came out for the cross, got nowhere near it, and Morata takes advantage, heads it into the open goal, and I just completely forgot to show respect. You guys know that whenever I have a player score against one of his former clubs, I usually do the show respect celebration. I forgot all about it. I was celebrating so much. At the time, I genuinely just started fist pumping, going, yes, get in. That's going to be that. The title's going to be ours, because after that goal had been scored, it was 2-1 to Milan. We could have made it 3-1 in stoppage time as well, with Mauri finding Loftus-Cheek here, who almost scored to make it 3-1 and kill the game completely. But the game was done at this time anyway, so it didn't really matter. But either way, Juventus 1, Milan 2, and Alvaro Morata just couldn't resist but celebrate against one of his former clubs for that one. And I should say it was my fault for getting to show the respects. But either way, Juventus 1, Milan 2. I think you can forgive me. In the biggest game of the season, away from home, we scored a stoppage time winner and came from behind to win it. So absolutely delighted about that. We get the win. Great performance by De Chilio as well. A goal and an assist for our right back. Really pleased with his performance, and what a fantastic game as well. To win it in stoppage time, to dump Juventus out of the title race, and to do it through a former striker of theirs. Oh, that just felt so good. It really did. And I think you can forgive me for getting to show the respect celebration. I was just so delighted delighted with that because now Juventus won't catch us. We're 11 points clear, and we've cancelled out the head-to-head record as well because obviously they won at the San Siro. We beat them at Juventus Stadium, so now it'll go down to goal difference. We finish on level points, and our goal difference is far superior as well. So there's no way Juventus are going to catch us now. They're out of the title race, and come the end of this episode as well, we could secure it if we win the final game and results go our way as well. So delighted with that, a big win. And again, losing that game with a couple of big games to come between now and the end of the season in the Serie A, there's no reason why Juventus, a really good side, couldn't make up the deficit and catch up to us. And because they had a better head-to-head record as well, could end up level on points or even get more of us come the end of the season. But instead, they're out of the title race now. There's no denying it. And we are surely going to be going on course for back-to-back Serie A titles. But still, for the second game of today's episode here, we will take on Juventus again at the Juventus Stadium again. This time in the Tim Cup semi-final though, because we had the first leg at the San Siro and we drew it 2 goals apiece. A really action-packed game that was, where we saw 2 stoppage time goals, 1 for either side. But in this game though, we needed to score due to the away goal ruling, but instead we trailed in the first half after Juventus took the lead. Also a side note, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but one of their strikers is Lars de Guzman, one of our Canadian youth products. How about that? But still, taking on Juventus here, they were leading at the break by a goal to nil, and you saw the team I put out there as well. It was a really weak side. I couldn't see us getting through this tie, and as we did trail, I was struggling in this game. Juventus were playing better. He almost scored a really nice goal there through Portillo, but unfortunately for us, one player for Juventus had an absolute masterclass, and it was the guy who scored the first and the second goal for them, and that is Hernandez. Hernandez played absolutely superbly well in this game. He was one of those midfielders and putting one of those midfield performances which you don't really appreciate unless you watch the entire game. So this is one of those games where I wish I sort of did it, fully live so you could watch what was going on. But Hernandez controlled the midfield in this game so well, and he just basically stopped any attack we had, broke up loads of passes or interceptions, and got a couple of goals as well, and was instrumental in this game for Juventus. They won the game by 2 goals to nil. They go through to the Tim Cup final, and our treble dreams are over. So we were absolutely delighted with the game on the weekend, beating Juventus away from home, scoring a stoppage time winner, coming from behind to win it. Absolutely fantastic. But then the mood got dampened in this one. We're out of the Tim Cup. We won't be having back-to-back finals in the Tim Cup. We won it last year, beating Torino in the final, but unfortunately in this one, as you can see, Hernandez's masterclass in the middle of the park does ensure that Juventus go through to the Tim Cup final. So I'm actually quite disappointed about it. I really am, because as I said before, the Tim Cup is our least, our lowest priority, if you will. We're not too fussed about it. We want to win the Champions League. That's our main aim, of course. We didn't win it last year. We want to win it this year. We're through to the semi-finals against Valencia. Hopefully we'll get through to the final for the first time with Milan. We want to retain our Serie A trophy. We're definitely on course to do that now after that big win against Juventus at the start of the episode, but I wanted a treble. This is our final season in career mode. I really wanted a treble. We technically still could have one if we win the Serie A and the Champions League as well, because obviously we won the Supercoppa at the start of the season, but I wanted the proper domestic treble, the Cup, the League, and the Champions League as well. But sadly, we're out of the Tim Cup. We couldn't get past Juventus in the semi-final. They get some revenge on us, get through to the final, and that's a bit of a shame. But again, we fielded weakened sides in both of the games, and that's because of how tough our fixture list has been of late, and how many changes we need to keep making as fixtures keep coming in quick succession. So I'm a little bit sad we won't retain it, and our chances of winning a treble have now gone, but at least it's the Tim Cup, something we've won before and something we weren't really too fussed about. But either way, we take on Cesena here for the third and final game of today's episode, back in the Serie A here at the San Siro. Looking forward to this game. Cesena got some really nice kits as well. Damn, Cesena, back at it again with a nice kit. Taking on Cesena here, we take the lead in this game 9 minutes in, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who I discussed briefly in the last episode, got his second goal of the Serie A this season. He's been a really smart pickup for us. He really has been. I did sign him purely for sentimental value, but no, he's actually been a really decent squad player for us, and he does open the scoring. So Milan 1, Cesena 0. We take the lead in this game. Scuffet was playing quite well for them between the sticks, made a couple of big saves in the first half, and kept Cesena in the game. So the away side was still in it going into the second half. They had more possession as well, but to be honest, their problem was they didn't want to attack us in the entire game. They had a lot of the ball, but they had one shot, yes, but weren't really looking too threatening when going forward. Often misplaced the ball when looking to find a killer pass just outside the area, and we had just too much quality for Cesena. I think that's the best way of putting it, really. We looked the stronger side, we looked the better side, and in the 66th minute we showed that as we got our second goal of the game and killed the game off. Alvaro Morata, who scored against Juventus' former club, that goal won them the game. This goal kills this game off, makes it Milan 2, Cesena 0, and there's still a chance. I discussed this 2 episodes ago in episode 150. There's still a chance that we we could have, for the first time ever in one of my career modes, it's very rare that I find something which I haven't done before in career mode, but this is one of them, that we could have two players, first and second, in the top scoring charts come the end of the season. Marco Ryan Tyler, who you saw there, and of course Alvaro Morata, who scored our second goal. Morata's now got 14 goals in the Serie A. Ryan Tyler's got 23. He won't be caught. We could have a 1 and 2 finish for top scorers this year in the Serie A. How fantastic would that be? But either way, we won the game by 2-0, and that all ensures now the title will be ours. You'll see the league table. We haven't officially won it, but after Napoli play their next game, if they don't win it, we will be crowned champions. So we're almost there. We've almost won the Serie A back-to-back, and hopefully we will see that happen before the next episode even starts. But that is going to be today's episode of Career Mode though, guys, so thanks very much for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. There's only a few episodes left in this season and this series as well. Can we get through to the Champions League final? You'll find out in the next episodes. We take on Valencia in both semi-final ties. Thanks for watching this one though. Please leave a like if you have enjoyed it, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.